Mom, Kale still won't come out of the bathroom.
Vera's fists battered the door like a battering ram.
Kale, I'm telling you to get out.
Her mother called up from downstairs. She spoke as if aligning her words to a melody.
Vera, sweetheart, calm down. We will not, under any circumstances, let you be late for your party, darling. Today is very important to us.
Vera hesitated for a moment, her gaze drifting toward the staircase. She pursed her lips and tilted her head slightly back.
Then you should have gotten up earlier.
Kale called from inside the bathroom.
And no matter how much you dress up, aren't you still going to wear those clothes Dad bought you?
One of Vera's eyebrows shot up in anger, her eyes snapping back to the bathroom door.
What are you talking about? What dress?
I saw it in Mom and Dad's room. Didn't you know? I figured it was for you. I think you'll like it.
Kyle stepped out of the bathroom as he said this, grinning at Vera. The seriousness on her face didn't change.
Kyle, just go already.
Vera shoved Kale aside and went into the bathroom. Kale muttered,
Whatever.
and walked off toward his room. I'm not going to make it because of Kale, she thought angrily. As she looked at herself in the mirror, a chill crept through her. A memory she had long forgotten seemed to stir in her mind, like a half-remembered dream from the morning, rising out of pale fog, faint at first, then slowly sharpening into focus before her eyes. She and Kyle were standing together in a green meadow. They were wearing strange, old-fashioned clothes. The garments weren't worn or torn. Their style was simply old. Before them stretched a broad, low hill covered in grass, and atop it rose a single, enormous willow tree. The image filled Vera with an unease she couldn't explain. It felt as if they were waiting for something bad to happen.
Vera, come here!
Her mother called. The sound pulled Vera sharply back from the dream world into her own. She looked at herself in the mirror. When did we ever go on a trip like that, she wondered. Her gaze then drifted down the hallway to Kale's closed bedroom door.
Mom, can you give me a minute?
She called out. If she had asked Kale that, she would have gotten a sarcastic remark in return.
Sweetheart, I need you here.
As her mother spoke, Vera felt a pressure building in her chest. There was a tone in her voice she wasn't used to, something not quite hers. Subtle nuances Vera couldn't explain or fully grasp.
Mom, can Kale come instead, please?
She said. Her voice came out softer than she intended.
Vera, I won't say it again, sweetheart. Come here.
Vera peeked out of the bathroom toward the stairs. That sense of unease, impossible to pin down, made her reluctant to go downstairs. Yet another voice inside her urged her to go before making her mother angrier. This was the first real fear she had ever felt toward her mother in all her life. She wanted to shake off these senseless feelings. She exhaled deeply and shrugged her shoulders. When she reached the living room, she didn't see her mother, so she headed toward the kitchen. As soon as she opened the door and stepped inside, she froze. She stared around in confused disbelief. The wooden floorboards creaked as she involuntarily stepped backward. The door must have closed behind her. She leaned her back against it. This wasn't their kitchen. The brick walls had been clumsily coated in white plaster. In the center of the room stood a large, thick wooden table straight out of a medieval film. The windows were small and few, their glass oddly shaped, thin near the top, growing thicker toward the bottom. A massive fireplace dominated the left wall. She took a few cautious steps inside, trying to make sense of the scene. The smell of soot filled her lungs. She squeezed her eyes shut in fear and counted to 3.
Vera, look.
At her mother's voice, Vera spun around in shock. The kitchen had instantly returned to normal. Her mother was holding an old necklace.
Look, sweetheart. This is yours now,
she said. Vera stared at her mother with empty eyes, still shaken by what she'd just experienced.
This is your birthday gift, darling. You should wear it today.
Vera stepped back a few paces.
Mom, where did you find this necklace?
Her mother smiled.
Sweetheart, it was always yours, and today you have to wear it.
The terror of seeing the very necklace she'd just imagined around her own neck now in her mother's hands made Vera shout back.
No, I don't have a necklace like that.
It looks lovely on you. You're wearing the clothes your father bought you, right?
Mom, are you even listening to me? Where did this necklace come from? What clothes are you talking about? What is going on here? Why are you acting so strangely?
Her mother replied with a smile.
Go and get dressed.
When Vera opened her eyes again, she was standing in front of the mirror in her bedroom. Her stomach churned as she looked at her reflection. Her legs were trembling. She ran her hands over the clothes she was wearing.
Sweetheart, come downstairs. Your father wants to see you.
Her mother said. Though she heard her voice clearly, she couldn't see her properly. She had appeared and vanished at the doorway in an instant, yet the voice never faded. Vera stared at the door in fear. The synchrony between her thoughts and her movements began to break down. Her body was starting to obey commands coming from outside, against her will. She found herself in the living room. Her father was gazing at her with admiration.
You look beautiful, sweetheart,
he said warmly. Cale was standing beside her. There was uncertainty in his eyes, a look of someone trying to rationalize something he couldn't understand. The clothes he was wearing were identical to those from Vera's dream or hallucination.
Cale, do you know what's going on here?
Vera whispered.
I don't know.
Cale replied, his eyes fearful, his voice trembling.
Something's happening. I didn't put this on. It just appeared on me.
Their parents' expressions never changed. They kept smiling at them in the same way. Vera raised her hands.
That's enough. I don't know what you're doing or why, but you're scaring me. No birthday, no party. Leave me alone.
She tried to sound authoritative, but her voice shook unmistakably. Her parents continued smiling, completely unresponsive. Cale looked at Vera.
Vera, I'm really scared. They're acting so strange,
he said, then turned and shouted at their parents.
This isn't funny. Why are you grinning at us like that? Stop it!
Vera grabbed Cale's shoulder.
Cale, I don't think they're our parents. Let's run.
Their upper bodies tried to flee, but their legs wouldn't move at all. They were stuck in a bizarre position. Normally they should have fallen, but their legs were rigid, like the legs of a statue. When they forced themselves upright in pain, they looked at their parents in terror. Their mother turned to their father without any change in expression. Their father laughed.
We're going to the party, Vera,
he said. Though his voice slowed with each word, the sound was loud and echoing. As he spoke, every object in the house began to rise into the air, exploding and shattering. Vera and Cale shielded their faces in panic.
Happy birthday, Vera!
The crowd roared with joy. They lowered their arms and looked around. The high-ceilinged hall was packed with people. They were surrounded so tightly that it was impossible to make out all the details of the place. But one thing was clear. It was vast and grand. Despite the crowd, the hall wasn't stuffy at all. Instead, the scent of grass filled the air, bringing an unsettling freshness. Their mother pulled a woman from the crowd.
Vera, look who I'm going to introduce you to,
she said excitedly. The woman hugged Vera and Cale tightly, her eyes shining with joy. She pulled back and looked at them warmly.
Oh my God, I can't believe this day has finally come.
She gestured to her swollen belly.
Sweet Vera, I'm Kate. I'm your next mother. I'm so happy today is finally here.
She turned to Cale.
Handsome, you'll have to wait a little longer, but we have plenty of time, don't we?
The crowd burst into laughter. A sharp, rapid applause rang out from within the crowd. The laughter stopped as everyone turned toward the sound. A well-dressed woman in her 30s stood atop an elevated dais, reached by ornate staircases, gazing down at Vera and Cale with affectionate eyes. The crowd watched her with admiration and reverence.
Dear Vera and Kyle, welcome.
The crowd applauded enthusiastically.
Yes, Vera. I hope you're enjoying your birthday. Since forgotten times, we have been cleansing you of your sins. You and Kyle don't remember the past, but I do. And I will make you remember.
As she spoke the final sentence, a shadow crossed her face. A wave of unease and darkness drained the warmth and brightness from the hall. The crowd chanted in unison.
Valor vestra Neutharia, Corgus Ethris.
Clear the way,
the woman commanded. The crowd parted, opening a wide path before Vera and Cale. When Vera looked ahead, she saw a reality-bending sight. One wall of the hall was gone. The path led out to a grassy hill, crowned by a willow tree with 2 ropes hanging from its branches. Vera's parents took hold of her and Kale's arms and began leading them toward the hill. The crowd followed behind in a long procession, applauding and chanting. Vera and Kale screamed and struggled, but their parents held them with inhuman strength. Their grip was so tight, it felt like iron vices, stopping just short of crushing their bones. As they passed the dais, Vera glared at the woman.
Damn you!
She screamed. The woman's wicked smile never faltered. When the hall emptied, she followed at the very end. Vera stepped out onto the grassy plain. The hill, crowned by the willow tree, rose like a monument in the endless field. In this place where time did not flow, it felt as though ages existed all at once. There was no point resisting anymore. After everyone, including her parents, had betrayed her, Vera surrendered more and more to the inevitable end, her anger draining with each second, the adrenaline in her blood fading away. With every step, images flashed through her mind, single-frame memories of this very walk, and with each step she understood more clearly. This was not her first time walking toward the tree. She remembered arriving in Nutharia's villages long ago, how she solved their problems, healed their illnesses, how the people slowly became Nutharia's followers, how darkness settled over the village, how in exchange for comfort they grew ever more obedient. Vera and Kyle had shouted to the entire village that Nutharia was enslaving them, but the people accused them of lies and ingratitude. One night, they snuck into Nutharia's home and discovered a ritual nearing completion. People formed a circle around her, crouched and rocking back and forth. At the center, Nutharia sat cross-legged atop a glowing triangular cloth covered in symbols Vera had never seen before, chanting spells in an ancient language while stitching inscribed papers into animal intestines. Only the firelight from the hearth illuminated the room. Vera felt an unstoppable rage. She clenched her fists and shouted,
When the priest learns what you're doing, you'll all be hanged.
Nutharia lifted her head and hissed at the siblings with disgust.
So we'll be hanged?
As the crowd surged forward, Kale stepped ahead to protect his sister, but Vera knew he stood no chance. She grabbed a burning log from the fireplace. The heat seared her hand with indescribable pain, but without thinking, she hurled it into the crowd. It landed beside Nutharia, igniting her garments and setting the house ablaze. The crowd held Vera and Kale down, watching Nutharia's home burn. Nutharia stared at the flames for a long time before turning to the people.
I healed your diseases, saved your children from death, made the barren conceive, brought prosperity to your fields, protected you for months. And what did these 2 do?
Heresy!
The crowd shouted.
They threatened to have me hanged and set my home on fire.
As the crowd roared, Nutharia approached Vera and caressed her cheek.
No, sweetheart, no.
She said softly.
I will not be hanged. But you, today on your 18th birthday, you will be. And this will not be the end. You will be reborn forever. And on every 18th birthday, you will hang from the willow tree on the hill.
Vera remembered all of their lives and all of their executions.